What's up guys, welcome to Tech Savvy Buyer. So today what I'm going to be showing you guys is the Tenda mesh Wi-Fi, and this is their MW6 model. This is a perfect mesh Wi-Fi system for anyone that's looking to get into beginner level mesh network setups at their homes, or if you generally don't need an overkill type of setup. But anyways, I'm going to walk you guys through what comes in this box, how easy it is to actually set this up, and overall what I think of this at its current price tag of about 138 bucks. Let's take a look at that after a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by GVGmall.com. GVG Mall carries a wide variety of game currencies and gift cards that you could use to take your gaming to the next level. If you're looking for a fresh copy of Windows or Microsoft Office, then you can certainly find those on GVGmall.com as well. They are priced very competitively and offer legit copies of Microsoft software. You can pick up a copy of Windows 10 Pro for under 15 bucks. Visit gvgmall.com for more information and use code TSB to save during checkout. So make sure you guys check out gvgmall.com if you guys need any CD keys, including those for gaming and Windows. Definitely a solid website and still tons of people buying them today. So make sure you check them out. Anyways, not to digress, but here is the MW6 kit by Tenda. Now, Tenda is not really a super popular name, so a lot of you guys haven't really heard of this brand. It's not the Linksys or the Cisco or the TP-Link brands of the Wi-Fi networking world. But does that mean that it's a bad Wi-Fi? Well, honestly, guys, it isn't. So with the advance of the Netgear Orbis and the Linksys Velop systems that came out a few years ago, mesh Wi-Fi for consumers has become a very popular thing to do. And that's largely because back in the day, you'd have one Wi-Fi router, which means you'd have a certain limited amount of coverage you'd get in your home. And if you had a big 3-story home or a 2-story home, getting to a single corner of your room or of your house, you wouldn't really get the best coverage, you wouldn't get the best signal strength, and that means you'd be getting really slow internet speeds, you wouldn't be able to stream a whole lot of stuff. Today, now that everything is mostly dependent on heavy streaming, you're starting to go away from wired devices and starting to get more into Wi-Fi. And mostly on average in any given household, you can have up to about 10 devices that are connected on one router. So some of the older routers just don't really cut it. So I bet you've probably been looking for different types of mesh network routers, and that's how you landed on this video. But anyways, you probably ventured down Amazon, because everyone shops on Amazon these days. And this is one of the top Wi-Fi routers that you can get that's really inexpensive. You get 3 nodes inside, and each node basically is a repeater point or an access point for you to connect your devices to. Now on the box it's advertised that you can cover up to a 6,000 square foot home, which is plenty, guys. So my personal home here is about 4,000 square feet, and in my testing I placed one of the nodes inside my garage, one inside this actual basement on the other side, and one in the center point where my internet connection is coming from. And so far it was really great in terms of coverage. Now it does come with a few limitations which would probably upset people who are looking for a more configurable system or more high-end system, but then again you're only paying about 138 bucks for this kit specifically. So it's not really something that'll let most people get upset about. But with that being said, there's a couple key things that I really liked about it. So number one, this comes with a really tiny, easy to use quick start guide. And setting this up is super simple. You simply just take out one of the nodes, you plug it into the outlet of your wall, and you take your LAN cable that's coming from your router and you plug it into the WAN port on the actual node. That's literally all it takes to set up one. After you have all of that stuff plugged in, you use this little quick start guide to see a QR code, which you could probably see there, and you scan that QR code on your smartphone and you're able to download the app. Now whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone phone, the app is pretty much the same in terms of functionality. And basically that's one of the limitations of this Wi-Fi kit. You can only control the Wi-Fi through an app. There's no native browser on your computer that you can log into, doing the 192.168.0.1 configuration. That just doesn't exist in this because it's not really priced to be one of those super expensive ones. For about 140 bucks, you're getting a full mesh Wi-Fi system. So this is what the actual app looks like when you have everything connected, and it's very basic. So there isn't anything super complicated on using this, but you can head over to the settings and you've got a number of settings you can adjust. So if you want to change your Wi-Fi name, you can go ahead and do that and adjust the password. You can even share it with someone if you don't want them to know what your password is. It'll automatically configure. You do have the ability to set up a guest network if you want to. You got some parental control settings, and you can adjust if your internet connection is static or dynamic, or if you want to set this up as a bridge with another existing system that you may have. So overall, guys, I mean, it's not a super ton of stuff in here, but they do have some basic things that would get most of the things done for a lot of people. So if you do want to have a prioritize type internet speed so that if someone is gaming or streaming, you want them to get it. You can't pick the specific devices, but this will automatically do it for you. Now, I know that might not be the most optimal solution for you heavy gamers out there, but like I said, this is a great way to get your feet wet if you just want to try and understand how a mesh network actually works. Now, I would recommend this for anyone that wants like an entry-level thing. You're dabbling into this for the first time. You want to see how good mesh Wi-Fi networks can actually be. You don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars getting the Netgear system or the Linksys system or some of the other ones that are out there or Ecobee or some. There's a whole bunch of them, honestly, that can really range. So if you've taken a trip to your nearest Best Buy or Target and you've seen some of those boxes, you're not probably going to find Tenda over there, but you're going to see a ton that are like $400 or $500. So with that in mind, guys, this is awesome. The fact that you can only use the app to configure it isn't really a hindrance, and it takes literally less than 5 minutes to go from unboxing this to having your entire home hooked up with Wi-Fi. It's that simple. You're just going to go plug in all of your nodes. You'll start first with the original one that you want to use, and all of them are identical. So anyone you could take out, just the first one you plugged in, you configure that with the app, and then it'll walk you through different steps how to add different nodes. You go and plug them into a different location, just turn them on. They'll automatically turn on, actually. And from there, the app will start detecting them and add it to the system. You just want to make sure that they're not placed too close to each other, because if you do, they're going to overlap each other, and you don't want them too far from each other because they're not going to have the best signal strength when they're sharing data with each other. Now, in my personal configuration here, guys, I have a TP-Link gaming router, an AC5400, one of their more expensive, like $300-400 gaming routers. And I have that hooked up, and I have this hooked up. Now, one thing I just want to share, and I know this is a little bit off topic, but I think it'd be good for you guys to know if you're in a similar situation like I am. So I have my gaming router, that's my primary router, which I use for my streaming, I use for gaming, I use for everything. It has a whole bunch of features, and you can log in. It's like overkill, basically. Now, the only thing that you want to be careful with when you use a mesh network and you're using another Wi-Fi router is you don't want the channels to intertwine. So you want to make sure you can change the channels. Now, that is one of the limitations on the Tenda kit. You cannot go and adjust any of the channel settings on this. This is pretty much a fixed channel. Now, I did go on their website and I found out that their 2.4 gigs network operates on channel 6 and their 5 gigs network operates on channel 40. So if you want to configure another router, just select it to a different channel and you're pretty much golden. There's not going to be any interference between this Wi-Fi kit and one that you have existing. That way, if you have a larger house or if you want to do something similar like I'm doing, having a split network type setup, it'll work perfectly without any kind of interference, and you're going to get those boosted speeds as well. Speaking of speeds, so this does include 2.4 gigs networks and 5 gig network support as well. The challenge is you can't really delineate between either of them. So you don't get to set up, here's my 2.4 gig network, here's my 5 gigs network. It basically will just go on the fly and auto adjust it on itself. And when asking them why they kind of set that up, it was to keep it easy, user friendly, and it basically does a pretty good job at switching over between those two frequencies on its own. So for example, I have a Galaxy Note 10 here. Whenever I was connected to the Wi-Fi on this, it automatically connected to the 5 gigs network. It didn't default to 2.4. But if you are using some other devices, let's say like security cameras that don't operate on 5 gigs network and typically operate on 2.4 gigs, those will go perfectly fine with the system as well. So it makes it really easy for you not to have to worry about making sure you're on the right frequency. Everything is going to communicate with each other, and it'll automatically select which one is the best connection for your device. So if you're using a gaming system, for example, a console, it'll automatically put your PS4 Pro or your Xbox One X onto a 5 gigs network. Now, that being said, if you're going to be gaming, always try and stay wired in. Speaking of wired in, so each one of these actually come with one LAN port capability to connect other devices to. So each node has a WAN port and a LAN port. The WAN port obviously is only going to be used on one of the nodes which hook up to your router. And the other ones, you'll use the LAN port to connect to anything else. Now, if you want, you can hook that up to a switch and have multiple devices connected to it. But if, let's say, you have one of these nodes connected to a desktop or connected towards a gaming console, you can plug it in via an Ethernet cable, and you're going to get really, really good speeds. So in my testing, I have a 400 megabit connection, and consistently throughout the house, I was able to hit speeds of 350 megabits across the board, whether I went out into my garage or I went into my backyard or I was anywhere in like the second floor of my house. Basically, there was no issues with coverage whatsoever. So honestly, guys, with that being said, the ease of setup that this thing has, the price point that this is coming in at, and the amount of configuration that you could do, albeit it's limited, it's perfect for entry level, and that's why it's priced accordingly. For 138 bucks, and I know I'm repetitive with this, but you really can't go wrong. There isn't really anything out there that I've tested that I think does a better job at a better better price point than this specific one. Now, if you feel like this is overkill for your setup because it is 3 nodes and it's up to 6,000 square feet, you can either buy them individually or they come in a 2-pack as well, which is a little bit cheaper. I think it's for $100 or something like that. I'll link it below so you guys can check out the different options on Amazon. But you can find the right size that fits for your needs, and it's basically a very cost-effective solution to getting mesh Wi-Fi in your home. So again, if you guys have any questions with how this system works or what you're supposed to be doing to get this operating correctly, let me know in the comment section below and I'll go ahead and help you guys out with it. It's really straightforward. They have a good FAQ section on their website that answers most of the questions that you guys probably are going to have. Even some that I had, I referred to their website. But in any case, if you still need some help, let me know in the comment section below. But anyways, guys, if you've stuck through to the end of this video, I appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, do consider subscribing because you'll always be up to date with the newest videos that I make on stuff like this and gaming and PC and all kinds of stuff. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you're up to date. And of course, if you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button as well. And to keep you guys busy, you can go ahead and check out this video or this video and see whichever one suits your needs. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys sticking to the end, and I will see you on my next one. Take care.